Okay, I promise you, give you some data for practice, but I didn't do that last week because I realized that I have to explain the data to you. Then I will actually understand what's going on there. Then if I upload the data today, then you will understand what data are you processing. Very, very important. You really, really have to practice the data I'm going to upload today. You understand what I'm talking about? Okay. 很重要的一点，今天我会把 data 放上去，给你们练习，很重要。你们知道是什么意思？好 ，OK。All right, so those are the handwriting digits. Okay, so well, those are the handwriting data. Okay, for example, this is 8, right? This is 8. We we transform the data to be a grade level data, and the grade level is from 1 to 15, I guess. Yeah, that's right. So from 1 to 15, from 0 to 15. Okay. So, as you can see, this is the darkest one is the darkest pixel is black, right? And the whitest one is 15. Okay. And so so this data basically is a 8 by 8 data, 8 by 8 data. So look at this. This is the 8 by 8. So we are supposed to have totally 8 by 8 64. So the data I'm going to give you is 64 data. Okay. For every handwriting digit, it contains 64 data. In other words, the data I'm going to give you has 64 dimensions, right? 64 dimensions. But this is for illustration. It's like this. Okay. Let's see another one. So, for example, 7. 7 is like this. Okay, it's like this. This is just for illustration. But the data I'm actually going to give you is this. So instead of giving you this kind of 8 by 8 data, and this data has only one label, 7, or this 64-dimensional data has the label 8, okay? So this is for illustration, but the data actually I'm going to give you is this, okay? You see, totally up to here, there are 64. And then this is the digit. This is the digit. This is the digit 0, 7, 4, 6, 5, something like this. All right, from 0 to 9. So when you look at those 64-dimensional data up to here, you can imagine that actually it's 8 pixels, 8 pixels, totally 8 rows. Okay? So you have this. All right, so the data I'm going to upload to the iSchool tonight is the data like this. So you can practice, because in chapter 6, you will see some illustration example in chapter 6. You can see that we are trying to reduce the dimensionality from 64-dimensional data to 2-dimensional data, right? Something like this one. See, this is the data. This is the dimensionality reduction using PCA, right? This is PCA. So if I give you this kind of data, you do it by yourself and see. For example, you practice your PCA and see if you can get the same figure like this. And again, I told you, for the second exam, I want you to be able to plot 2-dimensional figures like this for different class data. See, this is 0, and this is 6, 5, totally 10 classes, right? So, and this is not good. I told you I want you to assign different color to different different classes. All right. So I hope that for the data with this class, which is the digit 6, I want you to probably use the red dot, and for the data in this class, which is the handwriting data 8, I want you to use maybe blue dot, something like this. Okay. Don't do this. This is not the best. The best thing is that I want you to have different color for different class data. All right?
所以我们是要把刚刚那资料体系的东西去做一个 PCA 的。
对。
所以我们要先把它辨认出来，说是哪个数字，然后再做 PCA。
不用辨认了，我已经跟你讲了，对，它不在这里，跟 class 已经跟你说了。最后一个就是你的 class， 这个，对吧
Sorry, could we get this in English, please?
Yeah. So this gentleman asked me that. So are we going to do classification first before doing dimensionality reduction? I said no, you don't have to do that because this is a class. right? I have already told you the class. So, for example, this class 8, maybe you want to use blue dot to represent the data for the 8, for this class 8. Or maybe you want to use yellow dot to plot this data with handwriting digit 1, something like this. Okay, in other words, you don't have to do classification. The class is there, right? See, in chapter 6, the only thing I want you to practice is dimensionality reduction, which is important. And see, in computer science, there's one course that is called data visualization. This is, in chapter 6, we are learning data visualization because 64-dimensional data, it's not possible to visualize those data. So you probably have to reduce the dimensionality to 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions at most for human being, right? So this is, yeah.
Can you explain how to use the data, please?
What?
Can you explain how to use it, the data?
Oh. The data I'm about to upload to the iSchool from column A up to column BL. If you count the columns, number of columns, you'll see there are 64 columns. In other words, the data, this is the class, right? This is the class. So from column 1 to column 64, you realize that I'm giving you the 64-dimensional data, right? Now I want you to practice how to reduce the dimensionality from 64 to 2, and then plot those data, right? And then I explain to you what are those 64 data. I'm telling you that those 64 data actually originally look like this. 8 pixels, 8 pixels, 8 pixels. It's like this. 8 pixels, 8 pixels, 8 pixels. Total is 64. Okay, but I'm not going to give you this. It's more difficult to process. So I just align every row, I align every column to a long row which has 64 pixels, right? But I want you to understand what's going on. Actually, those 64, the row containing 64 pixels actually was from here, from something like this. All right? You understand? But again, you probably have only 1 or 2, 3, at most 3 weeks to practice. You really have to practice at home, okay? Otherwise, you will regret. All right? Practice every algorithm I introduce you in chapter 6. All right? Okay, so far, any question? Well, you're lucky. I mean, after first exam, well, it's reasonable. We have several students throughout this course, and most of the students, well, in this short list, it's too difficult. I'm not ready for programming. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, it's not in the first class. of this course, I told you that this course contains a lot of programming, okay? And it contains both programming and mathematics, okay? And this is the real thing for machine learning or deep learning. It requires a lot of mathematics, and of course it also requires a lot of programming. And if you can survive in this course, I can almost assure that you are capable of designing your machine learning or in the future deep learning computer program. Okay, so it's not easy. This is not difficult. This is not an easy course. And do you want to have higher salary than your friend or your classmates? If you want it, then you should spend more effort on this. Okay, this is the necessary process you have to go through. Okay, it's not like use a tool and do it. As a graduate student in this school, after graduate from this school and you want to find a job, people expect you not only this. People expect you to do the programming I have assigned to you, something like this. Actually, the real AI program you are about to do, if you claim yourself that you know AI and you want to design computer code to do machine learning or deep learning, this is a typical work. Okay, so the project I did for the company, it is much more difficult than this, much more difficult than the homework I assigned to you, and that's why I told you that now up to now you are brave enough and you want to be better than most of your classmates. Well, if you can survive this course, you deserve to have better salary. Okay, well, at least in Taiwan. Okay, in Taiwan's market is getting more and more popular. To most of the company, they will hire some programmer to apply AI to the work in their company. Okay, and so this is those are the fundamental training I should give you for this course, right? And I know it's not that easy, but it will be worth it. All right. So hang in there. Okay, we are halfway now. Okay. So most of you or everyone, you still in this class, you're good, and you're brave enough. I just try to encourage you. Okay, so to my surprise, most of the students who drop this course are foreign students. Okay. I guess I'm not quite sure. Probably the training background or education background is a little bit different compared with Taiwan's education and your country's education. I know some of the students, they don't have enough mathematical background. Okay, for example, probability training, and the other students probably they are not good at programming, and so probably before taking this course, you have no experience on writing computer code in Python, and then then you realize that, oh wow, I only have about 1 month to self-train yourself to get familiar with programming in Python, and probably it will be too difficult for you. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay. So please, if you tell your friend if they are going to take this course, you should tell them that they should get ready for Python. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Let me give you a quick review of two algorithms we have learned last week. One is MDS, multidimensional scaling. The MDS is that, suppose I have a I already forgot what's this. Let me see. Suppose we have some data, and we have a n by n. We have an n by n matrix. In this n by n matrix, we make some comparison among one another, okay? And this comparison comes from the Euclidean distance of those data. So, I will have a matrix like this, okay? So this is n by n. Suppose I have n data. And the distance between n data, for example, the data compared with itself, the distance is 0. But the data, the first data, the Euclidean distance between the first data and the second data is this much, and this much. And this is the comparison between the third data, fourth data, something like this. So we have a matrix D, something like this. And so for this data, for those data, I want to remain the Euclidean distance in the original high-dimensional data space. When I reduce the dimensionality, I hope that the Euclidean the relationship between the Euclidean distance can be kept as much as possible. As I have told you last week, PCA totally distorts the original relationship, distance relationship in the original high-dimensional data space for PCA. Do you remember PCA? For PCA, we try to we try to we try to maximize the covariance, the variance or covariance of the data in the two-dimensional data. So PCA distorts the original relationship in high-dimensional data. For MDS, we hope that can we keep those relationship, all right? So, okay, so we will have this matrix called D, which is n by n square matrix, and every element, of course, every element contains a scalar, which is the distance, the distance between two vectors, right? So, and then this is what's going on for MDS. And in order to do that, we design a H matrix, and this H matrix is very interesting. Okay, by the way, I kind of modify. I don't exactly follow the equation in textbook. Okay, so if you want, you can follow this, or if you want, you can follow the equation in textbook. It's up to you. So I design a H matrix, which is this, and this one is a column vector containing all ones, or probably n ones. Okay, so this we have this H. And then, so H times X actually has the effect nothing but subtracting the average value of all the data. Okay, X bar is all the data, which is this X bar. And so H times X has this effect. We call this Y. And then if we want to reduce the data to a k-dimensional data, actually zk is ck times square root of lambda k. What is ck? Ck is the matrix containing top largest eigenvector. Okay, and what are those eigenvectors? The eigenvector is this. So if C is the matrix containing the eigenvector of -1/2 times H, I will explain what H is, and D and H. And D is the matrix I explained to you. This D, right? This D. So if if I wanted to do dimensionality by using MDS, then I will give you D. Okay. So so if you can if you calculate this matrix, -1/2 times H times D times H, then you choose the top k largest eigenvector. Whenever I say top k largest eigenvector, I mean choose the eigenvector corresponding to top largest eigenvalue. Okay, in short, I call it top k largest eigenvector. So so CK contains the top k eigenvector of -1/2 times H times H, H times D times H. Okay, and then And then, of course, lambda k is the diagonal matrix containing top largest eigenvalue. So zk is this. By doing this, then you will be able to so it's not that complicated. It's actually you just need to calculate this and this of this matrix. That's it. All right? So this is MDS. And by doing this, your zk here will keep the Euclidean distance relationship in the original high-dimensional space as much as possible. Okay? Because we have provided a matrix D, n by n squared matrix D, to show you the Euclidean distance. If I don't give you D, I hope you know how to do it by yourself. Do you know how to calculate D? I actually don't have to give you D because D is calculated by this. Remember we have, if I give you 200 data, then you should have, this is 1, 2, 3, up to 200. And this is 1, 2, 3, up to 200. And the distance between, the distance between first data vector between this and its original, of course this is 0, right? And this value will be the distance between this one and this one. So this value is supposed to be, let's call it D12, that is defined as, okay, x1 minus x2, right, squared. And here, this is called D1, let's say, this one, D13, that is, okay, this is D13. Something like this. So you should be able to calculate this D by yourself. And then you know how to calculate H. So minus 1/2 times H times D times H. You calculate this matrix and then find the eigenvalue and eigenvector. That's it. Easy. MDS. Right? Now, the second one, those are the equation in the textbook. Okay, and well, it's kind of tedious, but it's the same. It's kind of tedious. So I like this. I like the way we do it. This is easier. Okay, but if you want, you can also use the equation in textbook, and you calculate BR, BSS, and PRS, and see what's going on here. Okay, you can do it by yourself. No, it's called B. I'm sorry. We call this B. B is this. All right, B is this. All right. So another one is called LDA. In this textbook, we start with one vector. So for this LDA requires the classes for every data. In MDA and MDS. In MDS, see, I have not talked about the classes of the data, right? Up to just simply this, no classes. But for LDA, okay, very important. For LDA, it requires the data, it requires the class of every data. Why? See, remember? We start with a two-dimensional data. Okay. We start with two classes. So first, we calculate the mean of class 1, which is, I call it O1. See, this is the, see from here, from this equation, we need RT, right? RT is the class, right? That's why I told you that for LDA, we need the class of every data. So we calculate that. We use this equation. You are supposed to be very familiar with this equation. This is from chapter 4 or chapter 5. So we calculate the mean of class 1. And this is the mean of class 2, right? So, and we use almost the same, but not exactly the same equation to calculate the variance of class 1 data. See, this is, for this, if you go back to C chapter 5, we are supposed to have the denominator that is summation T, RT here. But for this, because it's not, in order to make the equation simpler, so, you know, the author of LDA, he or she, neglect the denominator part. So this is the variance of S1, and this is the variance of S2, right? Except that we don't have the denominator part. But for this is the variance of data 1, class 1. This is the variance of data class 2. And we calculate the mean of class 1, the mean of class 2. Why do we want to do that? Because we want to design a dimensionality reduction approach to minimize, to maximize this feature's linear discriminant, to maximize this equation. Look at this. What is the meaning of this feature's linear discriminant? We want this O1 and O2. O1 and O2 as apart as possible. So, because we want to maximize this. So we want to maximize this, or we want to minimize this. So if you look at this, it means that when we do dimensionality reduction, we hope that we can find an approach so that when we do projection of the high dimensional data onto a two-dimensional data, we hope that the mean can be as far away as possible. In other words, I hope that the data can be very far away. The projected data can be as far away as possible. That is one thing. Because we want to maximize this. We not only want to maximize the numerator, we also want to minimize the denominator. So minimize this, what does this mean? It means that at the same time, we hope that S1 squared or S2 squared can be as small as possible. In other words, when we do projection, we hope that the data belonging to the same class can be as dense as possible. As dense as possible, right? if they are as dense as possible, it means that the S1 score can be as small as possible. At the same time, we also hope that the data of class 2 can also be as dense as possible. So this is a wonderful discriminant. If we can find a way so that the projected data, the center of the projected data can be as far away as possible, and the data of the projected data of class 1 can be as dense as possible, and the class 2 are also as dense as possible. This is the idea of features linear discriminant. With this kind of ideal index, okay, this is the index we want to maximize. How can we design our optimization algorithm, or how can we design our dimensionality reduction algorithm so that this ideal index can be maximized? We'll see this next hour, all right? Let's take 10 minutes break. So what is your idea?
Is it possible that we have more than 2 classes?
What?
What happened when we have more than 2 classes?
I will tell you later.